Yeah, delivered. And welcome back to Expeditions Rome. Not Rome, Viking. Still so used to seeing Expeditions Rome after playing that one for so long. Yep. Shall we get started? What were we doing? We had no active quests. Oh. Think. Let's have a look. You. 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 See if it worked. Cool. Alrighty. This is Expeditions Viking. Older game from... where is... There it is. Older game from 2017, so it's... I am currently at... It's an RPG. I am currently in Britannia because it's before it was united to form the United Kingdom. Capital of Pictavia is Perth. So, right, I was taking over this area. Taking him and him. I kind of like this game. It's pretty good. You play as Vikings, and you can do all the Viking stuff. Raiding, pillaging, making trade agreements, slaughtering foes. Get over there. Get over there. Yes. Little bit, yeah. What did I need to do? Ready. Alright. You can shoot that one. Shoot that one. I miss Ultima. I need to play that again one day. It was such a good game. Such a good game series. Ow. I forgot her spear does that. Shit. It is an RPG, yeah. You have your party, your characters have skills and abilities. You make dialogue choices and can affect outcomes of combat encounters by actually killing your foes or sparing them. Yes, the entire trilogy of Expeditions games are on Steam right now. The first one was Expeditions Conquistador, which was set around the time of the um, uh, when Europe first arrived. The conquistadors came to North America, Central America. Then there's this one, Expeditions Viking, which is set during the Viking times. And then there's Expeditions Rome, which is basically set around the time of Cleopatra and all that. Don't need to heal. But cannot do any preservation of food. Oh, good. Everybody enjoys their camping. Everybody rested. There's no EXP or anything like that. Instead, you get skill points and you use them to level up your skills and abilities. You have stats which are stuck from the start. You get your party, you can create extra party members. They can perform stuff inside or outside of combat. Like, she is essentially a healer through and through. She has the best healing. Cool. Okay. What do I need to upgrade for you? I think I'll give everybody that. Except for you. And yeah, just spend your time just organizing your characters. And she can't use swords, which does hurt me in the long run. I'll give it that. Upgrade that, upgrade that. Nothing to do here. I'll upgrade that. And that. Okay. Do that to your leg. that. Upgrade the spear. And upgrade the knife. And do that. Good. Upgrade the knife. Upgrade the axe. You need more of that. Okay. Upgrade Witchlust, Witchcraft, not Witchlust. Upgrade Healing. And do that. Kettle is pretty much fully upgraded so far. She's fine. And Adis is fine. I will grab that just so everybody can have the same ability. Now we grab the resources for the other thing that we can do, which is build our town up. I need to get these numbers as high as I can. Take you, and you, and you, and you, and take our healer.
This place makes the hair stand on the back of my neck. Do you get that too?
Let's wander around this map. Skill point. A jar. Take that. No other loot. I'll give you this. And okay, you got a knife, which we'll put into the offhand. Good. Oh, actually, no. Get some armor. My people do not have any armor. An older woman catches your attention. She's clad in plain garb, yet possessed of a regal bearing. As you enter the ring of logs, she's counseling a young couple in how to conceive children. But as soon as you step through the opening, all eyes are upon you. The face of the priestess lights up with recognition as her eyes fall upon Aoife. Do my eyes deceive me? Aoife of Kate. Aoife shrinks slightly. Aye, your eyesight's in fine condition. The priestess bows with a flourish. It's a great honor, princess. My family has always been proud subjects of Kate. What are you doing in the company of Vikings? Aoife looks increasingly unhappy with the attention. But this is Bersa of Scan. She has some questions. The priestess turns her attention to you with poorly concealed trepidation. We bid you fealty, Vikings, to keep company with Niall MacBrennain's daughter, despite the ravaging of your kinsman. Breathe easier, Gidya. All we seek from you is answers. Githya. Of all the answers I have plenty, but what is this title you addressed me with? Githya. It's our title for a woman wise to the traditions of the gods. Are you not such a woman? Oh, I see. My functions here can be described in such a way. That's true, but I carry no title here. I'm just a farmer's wife. If you have come seeking spiritual guidance, I don't think I can give you what you need. We're looking for your druid. We seek an audience with him. Our druid? If only we had one. Perhaps our faith would be stronger. Then again, we've all been challenged plenty on our faith these past few years. We were told you would know the whereabouts of the last druid. You don't know the man we mean? Her eyes flicker for a moment. If she hadn't been addressing our slave, you might not have noticed. But it has all the hallmarks of a tell. The priestess is lying. No, I'm sorry. I don't think I can be of any help. It would be a great honor for us to talk to this man. Your faith may be dying here, but in our lands the old gods still reign. She fixes you with a scrutinizing look. It's clear that you have due respect for the old druid, and it's true that we share many things through our faith. We only wish to pay our respects to the druid, as the highest leader of your traditional faith, one that is closely related to ours. You speak well for yourselves, I'll grant you that. Very well, I'll help you. I don't know if it's what he'd want, but I can only pray you won't displease him. I've never met the druid myself, but my grandmother told me he had left us to protect himself. He sought refuge in the highlands, far away from the dangers of society and politics. The old woman describes a path through the highlands to the mouth of a ravine where the last of the druids allegedly lives. I think you'll find it difficult to convince him to leave his self-imposed exile, but I wish you good luck. Easy. Alright, now where do we go? Oh, he's all the way over there. You were drawn from your path by the flapping of black wings, crows descending to feast on a carrion prize. Beyond the trail and out of view, you find the remains of a hapless traveller. Naked bone, chipped and withered, is all that is left. Pieces have been scattered by the attention of hungry scavengers, and the darkened soil has drunk most of the fluids otherwise spilled. From what effects and pieces of equipment that have endured, you gather that this was once a merchant. The tattered remains of clothing are colourful and were once of high quality. A search of the nearby area turns up a broken cart that has been stripped of valuables. A thorough search turns up a serviceable weapon concealed beneath the corpse. Whether it was the instrument of their death or a safety they did not bring forth in time is unclear. You hope it will serve you better. Alright, my people are hungry and tired. Just need to take this territory. No shield users. Beautiful. Oh, I need a sword for that. Dang it. Okay, shoot you. You stand there. And she shoots that one. Got 2 healers. Okay. Okay, that one goes down. Good. Alright, shit takes the hit. Good. And you see you. And down you go. Very good. Yeah, Bear went down. And he's dead. And you get stabbed. Charge in. And we wait. Yay! I did it! And Vera took a little bit of an injury, which I can fix right now with her. And make the camp. In the morning, as you and your herd packs up the camp, you notice that Bera is moping about while clutching her jaw. Ifa finally takes pity on Bera and drags her over to you. Bera won't come out and say it, but she has a really bad tooth. I should deal with it before it gets worse. Let's pull it out right now. Carefully tie some strings together around the tooth. The other end you tie to one of your horses. Before Bera realizes what's happening, Ifa slaps the horse's ass, sending the startled creature darting to the outskirts of camp, popping the tooth out of its socket. Wow. Alright, nobody's injured. You've been trekking through the inhospitable rocky terrain for several hours. The clatter of stone on stone and a cry of surprise are the only warnings as, up ahead, you watch the ledge crumble and give way beneath Kettle. Kettle tumbles down the rocky escarpment, but manages to grab on to and keep hold of an errant root jutting forth. He clings to it, hanging on for dear life. As your herdmen scramble to lower a rope, you notice the odd and painful angle of Kettle's arm. It hangs limp and useless, and he seems gingerly unwilling to put any stress or weight on it. It takes a while, but you and your herdmen manage to help Kettle climb back onto the path with ropes and outstretched arms. After assurances that he will live, you resume your trek through the treacherous terrain. More wood. More wood. Off we go. You. And I like Nefil. He's actually pretty good. Ooh, herbs. Strangers aren't welcome here. You'd best be on your way. We don't want any trouble. You're welcome to pass through, but don't linger. The Highlanders have withdrawn to the edges of their village, huddled together in groups that seem to constitute families. You notice the men have ready weapons, but aren't brandishing them. The welcome is not the worst I've ever had, but it could stand improvement. Go elsewhere then. You'll find better welcome in the lowlands. Nosy foreigners aren't wanted here. Will have nothing to do with you. This is hopeless. These people are beyond reach. I'm sure they have good reason to be suspicious of strangers. It's wise to be cautious. A tall man of strong build, somewhere around 30 years of age, emerges from the forest behind a house and steps into the village. He quickly assesses the situation and raises his hand in a gesture of reconciliation. Alright, let's not all lose our heads for nothing. Go back to your work, I'll handle the strangers. The other men of the village reluctantly return to work while frequently casting suspicious glances your way. The younger man walks up to you. He looks tired. I'm Dubglass. Don't mind them. They're just looking out for their families. My name is Bersa. Thank you for diffusing the tension. I'd like you gone as just as much as the rest of them. But I can see from the look of you, the best way to get rid of you is to get you what you're after. So what are you after? I seek the last of the druids. I'm told he lives here. Druid, eh? We all know what you mean, though not by such a fancy title. Travelers seek the sorcerer just as I thought. And you see fit to help? Do you know where your cousin is, Dub? The other man is clearly Dubglass's senior. Dub's reply is hard with admonishment. Sure you want to discuss this in front of strangers? That seems to shut up the other man up for the moment. The old hermit lives in a cave down in the ravine. Follow the creek between the mountains and you'll reach him. When you find him, do with him as you please. There's no love lost between the old man and us. The small boy stares with avid fascination at your group of foreign warriors. As soon as your eyes meet his face splits into a huge, excited grin. Hey, do you worship the devil? We certainly don't. Where did you hear that? My mum said the hermit serves the devil. You're here to talk to the hermit, right? Hey, did you come on a boat? It's a ship, but yes. Oh, I want to sail on a ship someday. An older plump woman bears down on the boy with a severe frown. Alright, now you again. Stop pestering the strangers and head on back to your mum. She's been looking for you. Boy stands up straight as a spear shaft. Aye, Grandma. Grandmother regards you through narrowed eyes, and turns and waddles back to her stool. young woman is sitting on a stool, braiding a band for a stone medallion with a Celtic cross pattern. Next to her, a small girl idly braids a few strands of her own hair while watching the work with rapt attention. What are you working on there? The young woman looks up with a start. She clutches her carved stone tightly, unsure what to do. Is it a talisman of some kind? You're very skilled. The young woman fidgets with her amulet. Color rushes to her cheeks, but it's impossible to know if prompted by the compliment or simple fear. She answers with a thin but steady voice, "Thank you. Would you be willing to part with it for some coin?" I suppose, if you like it that much. How about 5 pence? That sound good to you? The young woman lights up. She hands you the trinket and accepts your coin with obvious gratitude. Aye, that'd be very good. Thank you. As you walk away from her, she shows you your coin to a young friend, and the two girls giggle at what you guess to be the first sale the young artisan has ever made. You must forgive us for the cold welcome. Lads are naturally suspicious of strangers. If you need supplies before you move on, I've food and herbs for you to trade. Will your husband not be angry? Aiden's quick to anger, just as quick to come out of it. Dub's choice to step in calmed him down. Who is Douglas to you? Dub is the younger brother of my husband, Aiden. He's a good man, that Dub. Yeah, Vikings. Level-headed and he always takes good care of his wife and children. Can you tell me anything about the hermit? She licks her lips and looks at the trees as though suspecting them of conspiracy. I'd rather not talk about him. Who knows how far his sorceress powers extend. We all fear that man and his pagan curses. I'll come back if I need anything. How are we doing, Mouse? Keeping busy? We're on a Viking adventure. Two boys, one around 15 years of age and the other much younger, are crouched at the edge of the creek. A moment's observation reveals their errand. The older boy is teaching the younger how to tickle fish. The lesson is confined to a purely theoretical level, as the creek is much too shallow for fish. As soon as they become aware of your presence, the boys get on their feet. The older of the two steps in front of his friend and greets you with a hesitant smile. Wow, never seen people such as you. Are you from Northumbria? Strathclyde? Much farther away than that, boy. We're Vikings. The older boy puts a hand on his young friend's shoulder and nudges him forward. Go on, Ludag. Run back to your dad. The kid walks past you slowly, head bowed in fear, and he sets off down the path as soon as he's past you. The older boy clears his throat. I'm Cillian. I've heard stories of Vikings. To be honest, I never figured they were true. They make you out to be demons or some such. Is it true your ships look like dragons? Yes, that's true. It's part of our religion. Aye, that's right. You're not Christian. They say you worship ancient, violent gods that thirst for retribution against the spreading light of Christ. It's true we're not Christian. The corners of Cillian's mouth curve upwards. He seems powerfully intrigued. If you don't mind me asking, what are you hoping to find out here? Douglas in the village told us we could find a certain hermit down in the ravine. I know the man you're speaking of. I'll take you to him if you want. I think he'll be very interested to meet you. He stands there for a moment, looking over you with a strangely excited air about him. Come on, this way. Let's follow this kid. What's over this way?
This is a junction point. Look, see how the stones are aligned with the mountaintops in the distance? There's ancient power here.
Elaborate symbols are carved deep into these rocks. They've clearly been meticulously maintained. There's no trace of the lichen that grows at the base of each rock obscures the inscriptions. You recognize one set of symbols. You've seen them on other standing stones you've come across on your travels. With dawning realization, you notice that some of the markings in one of the unfamiliar inscriptions bears a striking resemblance to the runes of your mother tongue. Once you've made this connection, you begin to see familiar patterns emerge in the text. With these messages side by side, you might be able to translate the inscriptions on the other stones you've found. Attempt to translate. Spend some time studying different sets of symbols, but nothing comes of it except a mild headache and a distinct impatience among your herdmen. Perhaps we just need more material to study. We can always return here if we find more of these stones. Sounds like a plan. And that's where we need to go. The air in the cave is surprisingly warm and dry, but whatever supernatural blessings of air circulation is responsible for it has failed to prevent an oppressive stuffiness from setting over the area. Cillian hollers into the cave as you enter, and his words reflect sharply off the irregularly angled walls. Meriden, I've brought you visitors. They're not Christians. A coarse voice returns from within the darkness. Deep with authority, but uneven with age. Lad, your kindness will undo us both. I would nay have chosen a cave to live in if I wanted to entertain guests. Cillian gives you a reassuring smile. He'll settle down when he sees you. Come on. This is a big cave. Yeah, caves are great. And caves are generally more sturdy than shacks and harder to burn down. The biggest problems with caves are vulnerability to earthquakes, landslides, and flooding. Those three conditions generally do a lot more damage. The man who awaits in the central chamber looks just as you might have imagined. A dark grey beard reaches almost to his belt and blends seamlessly into an unassuming wool robe. His eyes judge you with a calculating clarity that makes you feel small despite the situation. And for a moment, you actually... True. And just for a moment, you might actually believe that this man could be 1,000 years old. As I thought, your guests carry a legion's worth of steel into my home. Have you no thought for the safety of an old man, Cillian? Fool boy. Cillian doesn't look particularly troubled by this admonishment. They're Vikings. They worship the old gods. Yes, and if I taught you more about the old gods, you'd know there is You know that is no guarantee of kinship. The old man's eyes have never left you, but only now does he address you directly. Well then, Viking, tell me who you are. My name is Bersa Gengrada daughter. Fell to my hole. Bersa Gengrada daughter. If I had expected foreign dignitaries, I would have summoned the servants to tidy up the place. I am called Meriden Emrys. If you came to speak about to the last of the druids, then you have found him. Please control your disappointment. Why have you sought me out? On behalf of Constantine of the Pits, I'd like to invite you to Perth. The old man waves his hand dismissively and turns his back on you to inspect some mistletoe hanging on a string. It's a fearless gesture. King this and king that. These kings, they come and go. I owe them no allegiance. My only loyalty is to the faith. Is it true that you are almost 1,000 years old? The old man scratches his chin through layers of beard. They've told you that, huh? Yeah, 1,000 years is a long time. I stopped counting long ago. This man is no more a millennium old than the reaver is the Midgard serpent. Hopefully taking the form of a ship to give us a ride across the sea. Merlin regards you with the implacable way of a man who said all that needs to be said. Tell me about your faith. No, I will not. Christians or nay, you are strangers to me. How about I tell you something of my faith and you can return the favor? This appears to catch the old man's interest. Oh, a bargain. I accept. I see you collect mistletoe. The plant has an important role in the tale of Balder, son of Odin and Frigg. When Balder was born, Frigg had made all the things in the world, living and otherwise, swear an oath that they would never hurt her son. But she had not made this mistletoe swear, as it was too young for such an oath. Meriden strokes his beard. Interesting youth. One day all the gods were gathered. They decided to test the oath by throwing everything they could find at Balder, and they saw that nothing could hurt him, and they saw that nothing hurt him. But his brother Loki, the schemer, made an arrow from mistletoe and convinced the blind god Hoder, who was also brother to them both, to shoot Balder with it. George smiles but says nothing to interrupt you. The arrow killed Balder. We have stories of our own that echo yours. In fact, I've heard several variations on the same tale. Perhaps the inevitability of tragedy, even among the gods, makes it easier for us mere mortals to accept our own cruel fates. Your turn. Meriden grumbles but nods. And let us remain on the subject of mistletoe. Few things are more sacred to us than this plant. It is extremely rare in these parts, but thanks to Cillian, I know of one good hard timbered oak nearby whereupon it grows. There is a ritual to gather mistletoe. Upon the 6th day of the moon, we bring a sacrifice to the tree and feast beneath it. It's meant to be a banquet befitting a king. We would bring 2 white bulls, horns tied, to be sacrificed. Those days are ages past. I climb the tree, well, Cillian does these days, and cut the mistletoe with a sickle, which I catch in a white cloak. It's meant to be a golden sickle, but we make do with what we have. Needless to say, we go without the white bulls as well. From mistletoe thus harvested and duly prayed over, we make a potent drink that is an antidote to all poisons. Behind you, you hear Ruska snort derisively in muted protest. Thank you for your story, Meriden. I hope we will meet again. The druid scratches his beard pensively, but he makes no attempt to stop you as you turn to leave. Aye, safe travels, Viking. Cillian catches your eye as you turn. He nods subtly back towards the mouth of the cave, and then sits off in that direction. Okay, anything? No. Let's keep looking around. Ooh. That's some good stuff. What I really want to do is get armor eventually. Outside the cave, Cillian looks almost disappointed as he should feel. Sorry it turned out this way. I was sure Meriden would get along. I was sure you and Meriden would get along. He's always on about Christianity's suppression of the old ways. He wanted to talk. Do you have a way to convince the old man? Can't I convince Meriden of anything? The man's 1,000 years old. Probably made up his mind a century ago. How can I change that? You seem to have a vested interest in arranging this. Cillian scratches his nose while he thinks. Listen, we need to catch fireflies for the old man's ritual. If you come along, we can talk on the way. The young boy from earlier is chasing fireflies with a girl about his age. When they see you, they freeze for a moment, then they run in a wide circle past you and back towards the village. Cillian looks worried. Ah, shite. If those wee pests don't tell their parents they saw us together. Will they worry I've corrupted your faith? Cillian suddenly looks a lot older. I have now been entirely honest with my family about Meriden, and I just suspect I visit the old man, but I try to hide it. And every time it comes up, there's a big fight. You have to understand, this isn't a village, it's a homestead. Everyone is related. When you live in peace like this, to break from the fold. Why do your parents hate Meriden so much? Cillian is silent for a time while he unpacks some jars from his sack. He hands you one and takes a few steps away to catch the nearest insect. With his back turned, it seems easier for him to talk. My parents are dead. They were killed in some stupid feud many years ago. My cousin Douglas and his brothers avenged them, and he and Malmir took me in, treated me like a brother. That blasted feud. Still on, of course. It's as old as sin, and it'll never end until everyone is dead. That's how things work up here in the Highlands. So how does this involve Meriden? Spend a few moments tracing fireflies around a small clearing. Every time you think you've got one, find the jar empty. One streaks right past your face and you flail toward it just a moment too late, narrowly missing Ruskova's face with your elbow. Meriden was here before us. As far as I know, he's always lived in that little cave. The problem is, everyone here is all Christian, of course, fervently so. They don't understand Meriden, but he frightens them. You should hear the things they say about him, that he's in league with the devil, that he takes children in the night and sacrifices them to dark powers. No children have ever been lost from the village, mind you. They're just trying to scare the wee ones to stay away from him. Cillian's voice is thick and unsteady now. I always wanted to tell them to shut up about him. That he's just a nice old man who wants to be left alone. But they don't want to hear it. So we have these fights and a long moment of silence follows. So sometimes I think, if they knew I'd have apprenticed myself to Meriden, they'd kill me. Not Doug, but the rest of them. Another firefly disappears somewhere into the moss at your feet. It sounds like a bad situation. You'd be safer in Perth if you come with us. with empty jar raised to strike, you kneel in the needle-riddled moss and let your gaze wander across it. The moment you spot the bug ant resting its wings between a couple of flat stones, you bring down the jar and trap the creature within. Satisfied, you close the jar with thin cloth. Cillian stops to think on it, and the local firefly population breathes a sigh of relief. His jar already buzzes with half a dozen of them. And come, if Meriden would go as well. I've learned much from him, but he still has so much left to teach me. So much wisdom, stories of the old gods, knowledge of the Weald, his rituals. He raises his head and stares off into the distance, though his sightlines are blocked by furs in every direction. I'll talk to him again. I've never told him how unsafe I feel around my own family. If he sees how much this means to me, he'll go with you. Cillian closes his own jar, confused blinks penetrating the thin cloth, and hands it to you. Please bring Meriden back in the cave. I'll meet you and him at the stones on the peak. I'm going to go and reassure Douglas and Malmir. Thank you. I'll see you at the peak. Don't mention it. I shouldn't be long. Peaceful. Meriden. Find Meriden sitting cross-legged on the edge of these wood platforms, slowly roasting some manner of herb above a candle. Behold, the return of the Vikings. I was not expecting to see you again, Bersagangrad, the daughter. Did you eat my apprentice? He had business at home. He should be here soon. He yanks the glass of fireflies out of your hands, oblivious of the rudeness. Ah, he bought the flies. Very good. I can prepare the ritual while we wait for Cillian. What ritual are you planning? A ritual of cleansing of a sort. It's meant to keep the power flowing strong through the standing stones atop the mountain. Of course, once the stones are cleaned in a spiritual sense, they must be cleaned properly. It's quite tedious, but that's what apprentices are for. What is the purpose of those stones? Well, what do you think? To preserve wisdom. What other purpose could there be? I've done my best to keep the writing current throughout the years. The original symbols were known only to the Druids. Who were the Druids? Oh, my dear lass. Pains me that you must ask. The Druids used to be the rulers of all these lands. Yours too, if I'm not mistaken. Which should not be ruled out, mind you. They were guardians of the laws of men as well as the gods. They presided over the rituals of the divine, and they upheld justice among men. They were learned and the powerful, the elders of their time that offered counsel to those in need. Why did the Druids disappear? When the Roman Empire conquered us, they spent centuries suppressing the culture of those who came before them. We Druids wielded great power here, and the Romans needed us gone so they could rule instead. It is my greatest sorrow that they were successful. Much was lost. Seems keen to leave his homestead. He raises a bushy eyebrow. Oh, aye. He's never voiced such desires to me, but I know you're right. I can sense it burning in him, right beneath his skin. It's a shame that such a bright lad should live in fear of his own kin. If he wants to come with us, will you let him? Meriden doesn't hesitate for a moment. Of course. I'll miss the boy, but a life spent in a cave does not a druid make. When he's seen the world, he can come back and take on my mantle if it suits him. Meriden seems to hear something behind you and cranes his neck to look past you. Seeing nothing, he furrows his eyebrows. Where is the boy? He shouldn't have been here by now. A sharp voice echoes down the tunnel, and the harsh reverb exposes undertones of outrage. Sorcerer, you've gone too far. 6 young men and women from the village have gathered between you and the exit. They're all armed and itching for a fight. We were content to leave you in peace as long as you minded your own business. But this, consorting with heathen warriors. He raises his axe and levels it directly at the old man, whose face is frozen in surprise. This will not stand. Back off, people. We don't want to fight you. If you didn't want to fight, you should have stayed out of our forest, Viking. Right there. Aye, you and that druid cavorting out here in this cave. So close to my wife and son. It makes me sick. Behind there, you spot the young artisan Lan who sold you her stone talisman. Her eyes dart back and forth between the rest of her companions. Lan, wasn't it? Hey, is this any way to treat your first customer? She looks up to meet your eyes, and her face turns bright red with shame. Did I not treat you fairly? Why are you here, Lan? Do you want to murder me? Dim torchlight glints off tears on her cheeks. She sniffles an apology. I'm sorry. What the hell is wrong with your sister, Dare? Dare isn't looking particularly pleased with the situation. Shut your trap. Lan, go home. Sorry I brought you here, sis. Run back to Mum and Dad. Go on. Overwhelmed by sobs, the young woman hides her face with her arm and stumbles toward the cave exit. We might kill them. We'll spare these kids. Anytime now. Hello? There we go. What the hell, man? Anger and shame flares in Dare's voice. I said shut up. We will not kill them. Oops.
Shit! Let me take a look.
Dang it. Dang it. Heal you
Sorry
back
for the
up.
trouble.
Okay. There goes another one. You're unconscious. And
Shit! Let me take a look.
I'm in your debt.
knock you the hell out. Oh, nice shot. Got him. The last of the young villagers falls, and Meriden surveys the carnage with a faintly horrified expression. So it has come to this. His fists clench at his sides. Perhaps it was only a matter of time. I must admit I never thought they would go this far, but... He stops himself mid-sentence and his eyes widen. Cillian, we must go to the homestead. My apprentice must be in grave danger. Whatever they're planning, you have to save him. We'll go at once. If you bring him back to me safe, we'll both come with you to Perth. It's clear we're no longer wanted here. I'll meet you atop the mountain. I have to pack my last things. Now go, aid him. Think all this stuff from them. The situation in the village beggars belief. Between the huts and the forest behind them, the men and women of the village have tied Cillian to a pole stacked hay beneath him. He looks badly beaten. As you file into the courtyard, Douglas is engaged in a loud fight with his older brother. Can't do this to him. Trying to redeem the boy, you daft bastard. We just kill him, his soul will be lost. I don't want him dead at all. For fuck's sake, man, your son and his wife are out there facing off against a group of Vikings. Should go and help. This is all for Cillian's own sake. That pagan sorcerer has corrupted his soul. He must be cleansed. Where are you even getting this shite, Talok? The old priest, bless his soul, never taught anything like it. Out of the corner of his eye, Talok sees a group of Vikings watching him with mouths agape. You, how are you here? What did you do to our children? They were no match for us, but we spared them. For a moment, Talok is almost overcome with relief. But then his anger gets the better of it. You spared them? Liar. Let Cillian go and we'll spare you too. It's more mercy than we deserve, Talok. Be reasonable. Their brother Aiden comes running from behind the village, where he must have been preparing to burn Cillian alive. Bring us the sorcerer. Talok spins on his heels to face Aiden. You'll bargain with these monsters? Shut it, Talok. Vikings, bring us the sorcerer that we may kill him in Cillian's place. Then we'll release the boy. No, listen. Aiden places a heavy hand on Douglas's shoulder. This is how it has to be. Someone must pay. Aiden stares Talok down until the older man averts his eyes. Comes very close to being a nod. Aiden then turns his attention back to you. Will you accept? I can't. Nobody has to die, but if you force the choice, I'll fight you. Erslave cranes his neck to see past the huts. If you plan to save Cillian, we'd better get there quick. Looks like they're ready to start the fire. You know what? I think the only way to keep these people alive is to kick their ass. If that's what they want, we can make it happen. Douglas is pleading with his eyes. Don't make me fight you. If you attack my family, I have to defend them. Sorry, Douglas. We're saving your cousin. But we aren't going to kill you. And taking out so many of these people already. One, two, three, four. The rest of them all the way down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, they're all here.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Good. Four of them left. Three of them are left. Ah, dang it. One left. Dang it. And then one left. Let's go. We can do this. Good. And they else lived. We just walked right through them. Cillian is in a pretty sorry state. His face is bloody and his body bruised. However, thanks to your timely intervention, he still breathes. Are you alright? Can you walk? He tries to speak, but his voice fails him. He nods heavily and staggers into position behind you. With certain people. Among the... I don't think I can loot, like, the young. Alright, let's see. Hi. Oh, lad, thank the dog that you're alive. The kid tries to speak, but it always fails him. He settles for sobbing uncontrollably into the old man's shoulder. I know. You're safe now. They can't hurt you anymore. Meriden lifts his head to reward you with a grateful smile. Thank you, Bersa. I've no doubt we would both be dead without your help. If not today, perhaps in a month. No need to thank me. We just did as Konstantin asked. Well, soon I'll get a chance to thank him for sending you. We'll both come back with you back to Perth. You've earned that much. He places a hand on your shoulder. You go on ahead. We'll be right behind you. And we spared them. These better for them to live in fear of Vikings coming back and doing that all over again. This way. Gunner's fun. These ones are okay to kill. Almost. Oh, dang it. I missed. Gunner really likes to take hits. Good. Nice. Yay. It can be. Oh, nice. And we get a second attack. And recharge forward. And there we go. Another successful win. You do your heals. Nothing else. Everybody's healed up. Okay. We'll take more can. And I'll sleeve and nephew.
Far be it from me to diminish the struggles of the Caledonian tribes against the Roman Empire, but this place might have benefited from some infrastructure.
I'm gonna go talk to King Constantine. Constantine is already standing when you enter his hall. His eyes are immediately upon the man following you. Is this him? Are you the last of the Druids? I Allow me to introduce the druid, Meriden Emeris, and his apprentice, Cillian. Constantine places his hand earnestly above his heart. Your Eminence, I am honored to host you in my hall. Meriden frowns almost imperceptibly, but nods. Aye, Your Majesty, and I'm honored to be hosted here. Your choice of emissary was somewhat odd, but I came to see the wisdom of it in the end. It's unlikely I would have stood before you had you sent anyone of less proficiency. The king graces you with a small bow of respect. Your praise means much to me. I owe a great debt of gratitude to Thane Barrister. The druid's eyes narrow in scrutiny. I can tell you already have new matters on your mind. If you'll have one of your subjects show me to my new home, I'll give you peace to talk. Constantine waves at one of his servants, and the woman leads Meriden out of the hall. Shrewd old man. He'll be quite valuable to our efforts, I'm sure. We're happy to have pleased you. I hope you're satisfied with the outcome of our mission. Of course, you did as I asked of you and you did it well. Please accept these gifts as a token of my gratitude. One of Constantine's servants brings out a small platter stacked high with gold and silver trinkets and places it at your feet. I hope you find that to be reward enough. He settles heavily back into his chair and rests his chin on in his hand. You've done enough to earn my respect, but I cannot commit my warriors to your cause until we've brought stability to my own kingdom. In light of how generously I treat those who aid me, will you assist me with one more matter? I will hear what you need before deciding. Listen closely then, because this endeavor is of utmost importance. If we fail now, there can be no hope of a unified Alba. As you may know, another kingdom borders ours to the west. Pictovia has always enjoyed close relations with the Gaelic kingdom of Dalriata, setting aside the occasional neighborly war. For the past year, I have negotiated the marriage between my son and the daughter of King Don something. I don't know how to pronounce that. Of Dalriata. Such a union will bring our kingdoms together for good. Negotiations recently entered the final stage, and the marriage is being prepared as we speak. But something has come in the way. I have lost contact with Don Cures. How have you been in contact with him? I have sent 2 groups of emissaries over the past week, but neither has returned. I fear something terrible has happened to them. What action would you ask of us? Travel west to Dalriata and Doncourse's homestead and uncover what has happened. If she still lives, and God help us otherwise, bring the Princess Finguala back to Perth so she can marry my son. I'll do what I can. Constantine smiles, satisfied for now. Then go with God, mine or yours, whichever favors you most. Or both, if they'll tolerate each other. No cursing? Okay. That's gonna be very challenging for someone of my capabilities. But, woohoo! I get to level up skills. Right. 17 points. Let's upgrade the shield. How much do I need to upgrade to? 250. Okay. Alright. Shield block chance is really, really good. Markant. Upgrade that to condemnation. Spot traps is good. Alright, then I'll up scouting next time we get skill points. Ifire, you... Oh, it's alright. I'll fix it for you. You got your points back. It should have been a stretch. I can do that. Yep, I refunded them to you. Big stretch. Alright, what can I do with your passives? What are some good passives for you? I'll take sexist. Big stretch. And do that. And do that. You don't have enough points to upgrade your shield, so no, you're all good. I'm not worried if people don't say anything. Yeah, I don't mind if people don't say anything. Grab that and that. Valmar. I miss Valimar. Grab that. You. Nope. Kettle. Do that. Gonna upgrade that and some points there too. Aoife. Your healing is level 4. Okay, we're good there. You can now make the best armor and helmets. Which is really good for me. Do that and charge. Okay, now we can upgrade our homestead. Could increase the walls. Or it could increase the stronghold. could max this out. Actually, yeah, we'll work on the palisade we'll use all the thralls we've got. Okay. You have my eternal gratitude, Viking. You've more than earned it. I can think of none beside you who would have gotten both Cillian and I out of that mess. You settling in here? Oh yes, I was wrong to resist your offer. After uncounted decades of solitude, I had forgotten what it means to be a leader in faith. There are many here who still follow the old gods. Many more than I expected. Cillian is over... True. Cillian is overjoyed to be out in the world as well. You should have seen him when he first entered the city. He's already courting one of the local girls, I believe. Will you sell some of those drinks and remedies? To you and your people will sell them at cost. What do you need? The one that sharpens one's mind. I'm always happy to serve a friend. I'll talk to you later. What does the focus tonic do? Ooh. Alright. Well, we've made lots of good friends right now. I need to go... to go going to go back to the ravine because I believe there is a quest there. But we rest first. Edis will do that. And Leafa can craft armor. Don't have enough resources. Dang it. Ooh. Regeneration, poison resistance. Yeah. Kind of uneven. What's the cost? 19 hides. Yeah. I'll make it. The evening is wearing on and most people are consumed by their chores. You're outside camp inspecting the perimeter when Elslave approaches you with a guarded expression. Ursa, a moment of your time, please. Of course. What's the matter? I need to voice my strong disapproval. I do not see what we are supposed to gain from helping these petty local kings. Earthleaf's words flow like a waterfall, leaving you no room to interject. I've always said our duties are at home, defending the village from Skull's aggressions, building fortifications and tending the farms. I saw some wisdom in coming here in search of wealth, and we did find the unprotected riches we're looking for. His voice ascends towards a crescendo, and yet instead of simply taking what we please and bringing it home, you have us work as mercenaries. Now we are involved in this. These local wars that ought not concern us. Calm down, Owlsleaf. Let me explain. I have frankly had enough of your explanations, your deliberations and considerations, and we must act. Skill will not sit idly by while we waste our time in this futile mire of petty politics. You give me a chance to defend myself. Takes a step towards you. If only you'd see. Owlsleaf's rant crashes to a halt like a ship smashing against cliffs. You can almost feel the sparks of energy crackling in the air between you. For a moment you think Owlsleaf might raise his hand to strike you, but then you realize the energy is of an altogether different nature. It is its desire, hot and naked like as a flame. What to do? So many choices. What should I pick, people? I'm thinking just because it's funny. Number 1. A wave of heat crashes over you as your bodies snap together. You wrap yourselves around each other, a mess of hands and hair, blinded and deafened by the moment. You barely feel the coarse bark of the tree against your back as Owlsleaf lifts you up and squeezes you against it. Years of tension set ablaze in the fire burns you both up and crackles through the night. It's more like single combat than the union of two lovers, every bit as violent and exhausting as that first duel so many miles ago. You awake the next morning in his tent, drenched and dizzy, and fail to stifle a laugh as he looks at you through a blonde bird's nest of tangled hair. He grins sheepishly, and the expression seems ill at ease on his chiseled features. Everyone looks up as you leave the tent together and head out to the water to wash. Nefia and Ruskva exchange eye rolls. Kettle smiles more at the girl's reaction than at you. Ghana's face is engulfed by the widest grin. Itis looks like she very much wants you all to know she doesn't give a rat's ass what you youngsters get up to in the night. As you stand up to your knees in the freezing water, Owlsleaf seems to be avoiding your eyes. Now that the afterglow is past, he seems more glum by the minute. My family would not be pleased if they knew about this. Sod what your family would think. If only were that simple. Do you have no second thoughts about last night? It's been a long time coming. Glad it finally happened. Owlsleaf stops washing and stares pensively off between the trees. I used to dream of you when we were growing up. I haven't thought about you that way in a long time. There's nothing like a heated argument to wake up forgotten feelings. Then we agreed to let this develop. I like that. He hesitates, then he wades through the water at a confident stride and pulls you into an embrace, kissing you deeply. It takes you a lot longer than normal to finish washing. Morkant, you come with me. Boop, 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 boop. The village is still there. They're probably all gone now, even though they're not dead. Yep. Alright. Inspect the inscriptions. Morkant, what do you make of these inscriptions? The monk steps up and inspects the stones carefully. This set of symbols bear no relation to the Druidic markings we've found elsewhere. In fact, it's rather similar to the Roman alphabet, I'd think. I should be able to translate these, but it will take some time. Alright, get to work. We'll wait. 2 hours later. Morkant jumps with a yelp of joy, quickly followed by a groan of pain as he feels the blood return to his legs. I have it, a complete translation key for the ancient inscriptions. What a breakthrough, what a day for scholarship. I'm happy for you, great work. What do the inscriptions say? Morkant's voice quivers with excitement. These stones are related to an old legend. I've read of it before in the old tomes, but I thought it firmly placed in the realm of myth. Adopting the tone and manners of an old monk lecturing a group of initiates, Morkant explains what the stones revealed. The stones speak of an ancient king who fought and died for a nation known as Albion. The king is variously referred to as a hero and an adversary. And it seems the people who erected these stones may have had a fairly ambiguous opinion of him. The stones reference the king's final resting place several times and hint that he may have been buried with a weapon of great power. It appears that 7 stones were erected across the kingdom, each of which reveals in part how to reach the king's burial site. These must be the stones you've encountered before. Nothing else to do here, which was the whole reason we came to start that quest. Now we just gotta wait for me to get all the way back to the rest of the crew. First things first, we're gonna go back to Perth. Where's the other location we need to visit? In Inglewood. There's the homestead. Alright, so we're gonna go back to Perth.
On Orkney, I once prepared my crew to raid Perth. Then the Skull Cleaver showed up, promising an easier, wealthier target. I sometimes wonder what might have been.
Alright, where's my ship? There it is. Gotta remember where to get thralls from. Okay. I've got to get back home. Pick up some more thralls. But while I'm there, I've also got to do... I've got to go to Scarborough later. Do this quest for the waves are calm and the reaver is making slow progress. Suddenly Bearer yelps, "I got one." Bearer has been trailing a line lazily off the stern. Now she is braced against the strakes with both feet, fighting some enormous sea creature. "I'm not letting you escape, you big bastard." Bearer fights the fish for a long time, drawing cheers and encouragement from everyone. Fortunately, the fish is no match for Bearer's endurance, and she eventually hauls it up into the ship. Everyone cheers, and Morka quickly gets to work filleting and preserving the catch. Ugh. Alrighty. Everything is looking good. My lands are growing. The village has definitely improved since last time I visited. First I need to talk to you. Let me look at your wares. Need to buy all of these. Best way to sell, to do that. $36 of them. Two more for that price. And that's all I can afford. I'll return if I need something. Nobody's injured. Now we talk to nephew. Nephew kneels beside her sister's bed, holding her hand gingerly. She's been crying. Ephira looks paler than ever. I was right. My dream was right. What's happened? It's the same cursed disease. We have to do something. We have to get rid of this once and for all. Ephira smiles her sad, tired smile. Don't cry, Neff. As long as Mother still has you, I accept my death. Don't say that. You are not going to die. I'll ask Hilda about this. Perhaps she has some idea of how to treat it. Thank you. We have to do something. Ephira has fought too hard and too long. I won't lose her now. Oh. My home looks bigger. Gotta see inside. What's it look like? No difference on the inside. And ads are about to start. There she is. Yay. My lands are growing. Farm is growing. Nephew's family needs your help. The house sod is back. Oh no, how awful. I was so sure we were finally rid of that old curse. I've tried just about everything I know, and everything known by anyone else whose opinion I value. I'm so sorry, my girl. We're out of options. We travel far and often. Perhaps the cure we seek exists across the sea. I don't know. I suppose, now that you mention it. This whole mess began when Holman, bless his spirit, returned with your father from an expedition to the far north. It's possible the people of the north know how to treat this hellsort. My travels will not take me to the Northlands, but Pictavia is quite northern, and in many ways they are like us. I might ask in Perth. Hilda's eyes glaze over a little bit. Yes, very good, dear. She just stands there for a bit, smiling obsequiously and waiting for you to go on. She's clearly lost track of the conversation. Thank you, Hilda. I'll see you again. You're always welcome here. I need... more stuff. Roads. It's good to be home, is it not? If nothing else, than to assure ourselves that our homes still stand. How's your family doing? They're facing much hardship. The poor prosperity of your domain is felt particularly strongly in the other homesteads. It is my hope that our efforts to bring wealth and allies back from the British Isles will improve their situation. Let me ask you about the rest of the herd. Did you and Aphra get along? I do not know her well. I think she avoids me. I will say that her prowess continues to impress me. It is a great asset to have such an unassuming yet dangerous person in the herd. Gunnar? Gunnar the Peaceful is an unhinged maniac and will get us all killed. Is that good enough? What about Morken? Why do we even keep him around? The monk belongs with the thralls. See you back on the ship. Let's talk with Mother. We haven't spoken to her in a while. It's so good to have you back home. The gods must have blessed the river. It's as though all of Skern calms down a little as soon as your sail crests the horizon. Can you talk to your brother when you have time? She cast a surreptitious glance at Rurik, who was busy himself with some woodcutting. He's been getting more and more distant since you left. In what way? Been so quiet. Sometimes he leaves for weeks at a time. I don't know where he goes, and he gets so evasive when I ask. I'll try. Maybe he just misses me. I'll talk to him. Thank you. I'm sure he just needs a few words of encouragement from his sister. How have things been going in our absence? There's been no signs of the scouts who killed Grimulfer. I suppose their work in the forest was done. They must have come simply to kill him. Poor Ulfa. He survived such dangers only to be struck down in his own home. He could have been a great help to train the young while you were away. How do we fare in terms of wealth? Your mother smiles sadly. Things are starting to look up, but we still have a long way to go. We're no longer the poorest clan in Jutland, at least. If Sigurd Inger were to pass judgment tomorrow, Skullcleaver would simply have to point at the poverty of our outlying farms, and I'm afraid the king would quickly rule in his favor. I'll talk to you later, Mother. Rurik is keeping to himself in the back of the longhouse. He hasn't come to welcome you back since he returned, which is quite unlike him. He greets you without looking up from his woodwork. He looks says this. His tone is friendly but oddly distant. What, no hug for your sister? He puts down his woodwork and gives you a brotherly hug. For a moment, you think you see irritation on his face. How fare your expeditions? Are you not happy to see me? He's still not looking at you. Of course I'm happy to see you. We all worry when you're not here. Alright, what's going on? You're hiding something from me. He stops his carving and straightens up, and instead of looking at you, his eyes bore into the wall in front of him. So what if I am? I'm allowed to have secrets. It's about time I get out of town a bit, wouldn't you say? I've spent too much of my life cooped up here. Maybe you just set a good example for me. Maybe I've decided to change. Maybe. Sounds like somebody has been influencing you. Rurik holds up a hand to stop you. Don't do that. You hit a nerve. I'm finally taking charge of my own life, trying to get back some of the dignity I've lost over the years. Don't try to attribute this to some nefarious outside influence. You don't need to change, Rurik. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Just stay true to yourself. At his sides, his fists clench and unclench slowly. It's easy for you to say. Tired of... I know you only want what's best for me, but you don't understand what it's like. I need this. If Mother asks again, I'll just tell her I'll be fine. It's just Wanderlust. Who wouldn't be inspired by a sister like you? Aww. I'll talk to you later, Mother. Wait. Can we... Wait. You got anything in here? Nope. See you back on the ship. set sail back to Perth. A brisk wind has been carrying you well throughout the day, when all of a sudden you hear the unmistakable calls of seagulls. Ursa, look, a boat. You look to where Gunnar is pointing and you see the small boat floating in the water. It looks to be a fishing boat, but it's awfully far out for such a small vessel. It floats too well in the water to be empty, but you see no one on board. A small mast juts up, but no sails hang from it. You approach the boat slowly. Just when you're just about to board, you see an old man and a young boy who lie bloated on the bottom boards. They must have been fishermen. They look to have drifted for a long time. Take the cargo. And then we torch the boat. And we keep sailing across the seas. Do.
I like this place. It feels kind of unruly for a city, as if all the clans here are just one mug of ale away from tearing each other's throats out.
Let's go talk to Ulak. My favorite Viking. This discount still stands if you need anything. I need your advice about a disease. At last, someone asks about a bloody disease. I don't mean to be insensitive, but I'm just about fed up with curses and evil spirits. Describe the symptoms of the hellside. I've heard of a similar ailment. I believe it's caused by the bite of some tiny forest creature. The Macbara clan has been greatly troubled by it, and they know how to treat it, but I'm afraid that's trouble, my friend. Barak is the greatest of Constantine's opponents. He alone among all the clan leaders has resisted the alliance, and his clan attacks all who intrude upon their home. Perhaps you'll listen to me. I am not a Pict after all. That will only make things worse. Old Barak may hate Constantine, but he hates foreigners even more. If you insist on seeking a cure there, you can find the Macbara clan in the forest southeast of Perth. Be sure to come prepared for a fight. Take me across the river. Uh, 13 hours until my palisades are at level 2. feed everybody. Nobody's injured. Scrap everything. And do that. Scrap that, and that, and that. And ice leaf can repair. Spear wall. And gunner, nope. Kettle, no. Casting, no. Leafer. Alright. Everybody rests. Grab the hides. But, bye but. Okay, and right, it's not building anything. Could do tier 3. This might take too long. Don't have enough hides for that. But we do need to upgrade the longhouse. I'll use get 2 thralls for that. Don't need to fight enemies that we don't need to fight. Beautiful. We rest here. Everybody does their thing. Yay, more wood. Alright. Now for Vera, Elslif, Afa, and Gunner. Airfield holds up a hand to stop the herd. Wait, that must be their camp up ahead. Listen, we're only here because of me. I don't want to put you all at risk for this. I'll try to sneak in and find a cure without alerting anyone. If I'm careful enough, we can avoid a fight. Sounds like a plan. We'll be ready to back you up if it goes wrong. Okay, where do you go? Ah, fuck. Oof. Damn, I'm good. Nephew looks quite relieved to be back among her friends. Made it. It was just like watching Green. This must be it. Oh, Odin, Thor, Freya, and Balder, please let this work. It'll work. I'm sure of it. Nephew leans in and gives you a sisterly kiss on the cheek. You're the best. Thank you for doing this for us. No matter what happens to Aethera, I'm so grateful for what you've done. And now we leave. They're not worth sticking around for. Alright, where's the nearest town for me? Alright, everybody can rest. Very good. Ah, sweet. What can we make? Can do that. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. We go over this way. Armed with knowledge from the stone circle in the highlands of Pictavia, you finally understand the ancient markings. The inscriptions speak of an ancient giant with emerald hair. The giant is fed by a silver snake that slithers around its legs. According to the symbols, a key is buried beneath the legs of the giant. Gonna list his feet. Nothing here. Then again, I have no hair at all. Must be some other giant. So what we're looking for is buried under something big? I don't understand the bit about the silver snake. How do we know it's even still here? This stone was written ages ago. In the first of the ancient tablets. And then we go board the ship again. Back to scan. As morning approaches, you notice that another ship is slowly gaining on you. It's still only a small silhouette on the horizon, and ahead of you fog banks are hugging the calm waters like a blanket. Row faster and lose them in the fog. The crew rows as fast as they can, but the other ship outpaces the reaver by a large margin. When the other ship catches up, it's clear that you're dealing with another Norse longship, and you recognize the sail as the colours of a clan allied to Jelling. The crew of the other ship starts taking pot shots at you as soon as they're within arrow range. And by a stroke of bad luck, one of the projectiles nails Halfstein in the shoulder. Send a few shots of your own in their direction, but then the crew of the other ship seems to finally get a good look at the reaver and lose their nerve. Their small and nimble ship turns quickly and flees at full sail. First, I'll talk to Hulda, get the healing treatment. And heal them. Yep. An hour later. Good. Grab the herbs. Got a ton of medicine. Can we buy wood? We can. That is a really good deal. I'll return if I need something. Stronghold is now looking more strongholdy. How are my walls looking? Oh, they're nice and big. Yeah, they actually look like they're defensive. So I'll put it to 67. And grabbing those two, it's another 10. 71. 77. 83. Alright, now we do Nephew's quest. As soon as he landed, Nephew flew off the ship in a hurry to deliver the cure. When you catch up with her, she and Bjorgdis are helping her sister drink. Come on, take your time. Careful not to spill anything. Is everything well? Nephew stands up and brushes her hands on her tunic. She looks worried. We've done everything we can. All we can do now is wait. I can't thank you enough for helping me with all this. I don't know what I would have done without you. Anything for a friend. She gives you a hand of friendly squeeze before turning her attention back to the patient. Yay. Okay. Um... Alright, what am I doing? Alright, we're going back to Orkney. Orkney, I'm gonna
Ah, the spray of the ocean, the howling wind, the roar of the breakers. True strength is built in a place like this.
Newly arrived merchants have erected a stall between the camp and the beach. It's staffed by a man and woman of a similar age, and very clearly of Pictish origin. They both turn to greet you with perfectly synchronized bows. The man addresses you. We are honored to serve you, Jarl Bersa. And who might you be? I am Lutrin, and this is my wife Donata. What brings you to Orkney? They subtly exchange glances, but not too subtly for you not to notice. We used to come here every summer when our people still lived here. We heard the island had fallen under your control, and we know you to be a friend of Konstantin. What are you selling? We bring sheep's meat from the highlands and healing herbs from the valleys. Some of it is fresh, most of it preserved. Let me look at your selection. You are actually selling stuff I desperately need. Okay. An unfamiliar warrior has been watching the approach of the Reaver from atop the cliffs. Now he runs down to meet you, bowing his head respectfully. He's somewhere in his late 20s, dressed in well-worn armor, with a ghastly scar along the jaw where a spear once sliced it open. The features of his face feel faintly familiar. Yalbersa, it's an honor to meet you. Word of your deeds have traveled far. Have we met before? What's your name? My name is Egil, and if we had met before, I'm sure I would have remembered it. Egil. Why does that name sound familiar? Have you ever been to Scan? To say that he looks surprised would be an understatement. I have, but I'm sure we haven't met. I made camp in Scan Forest on my way north to join the crew of the ship that brought me here. I think I met your brother. In fact, I told him you were dead. Egil responds with a bemused smile, but thankfully he doesn't appear angry. Why would you tell him that? Your brother was there to look for you. He found a dead man under the snow with a sword that he thought was yours. He thinks for a moment and then he nods. You must have found Thorgauta. I brought his sword because my own was old and worn, and he was in need of silver. It was a very good deal for me, but it sounds like my old sword didn't serve him well in the end. Should probably go home and find him then. Let him know you're not dead. I will, but first there's something I must share with you. Go on. I came here on the longship Gragas with a crew from Vestfold. We spent most of last summer raiding coasts of the Celtic peoples to the west. It was very profitable work. On the way back to Orkney, our luck finally ran out. We were ambushed by a group of Picts while camped out in a cove, and the Gragas was burned. We did manage to drive back the attackers, but without a ship. We were forced to make our way across Pict land on foot, and we had far more treasure than we could carry. After a few days, we found a cave down the coast, and then we carried all the spoils of our raids deep into it. The Thane and his bannermen stayed inside the cave for a few more days to set traps while the rest of us rested outside. Then we made our way back here. Why are you telling me this? Because I don't trust any of those bastard are. Every member of that crew is a greedy, selfish Bicusnon, myself included. Each man is probably already looking for a ship and a new crew, so they can go back to that cave and take the loot for themselves. I might consider doing the same, but my luck has run out. I took a hit in my left arm during a fight on the way through Pict land, and I can't hold the shield anymore. So instead I'll sell you the location of the treasure hoard, if you want it. It's yours for 200 Ortug silver, or whatever you have with you of equal worth. I'm going to spend that money to get a home, buy a farm, and start a family. If you can get to the cave before my old crew does, you'll find 5 times that much treasure hidden there. How do I know you're telling the truth? A man is only as good as his word. I swear on Boulder I'm telling you the truth. I accept your offer. Think. This soothes the pain a little, at the thought of all the wealth I'm about to give up. Now. Yeah, kind of. Now take your ship to the bay where the River Tay runs toward the seat of the Pictish king, and follow the coast toward the north for a long way. Eventually you'll pass the inlet of the River Dee, and then shortly come up to another river called Don. Follow this river into the country until you find yourself in a river valley. Edel goes on to describe the landscape in vivid detail, carefully explaining how to reach the cave where the treasure hoard is hidden. It's a sparsely populated land, so you probably might need to worry about the Picts, but as I've said, there may be other members of my old crew out to claim the treasure. There's also the matter of the traps. I wasn't there when they were set, so I don't know what they involve, but quite some time was spent on them, so it must be something elaborate. If this whole thing is something you made up, I'll have you made an outlaw. You'll never be safe again. He bows his head again. Of course, if I had lied to you, I would deserve nothing less. Now please excuse me, I must go and find a place to board a ship home. Ooh. This is my island. Anybody important to talk to? Anybody with yellow on their name tag? And all I had to do... Hey, it's these two. Back in regular clothes and no longer tied to poles, you almost don't recognize the two Vikings you freed from Pictish captivity in Perth. They both smile in greeting. Hey, it's our rescuer. Good to see you again, friend. Fine place you have here. Very grateful for the invitation. Dana, you said you built Jelling's fortifications. Skill and I are not on good terms. Can you tell me anything I might use against him? Dana grins wickedly. I don't like to sell out paying customers, but you did save my life. Skill ordered that I build a hidden tunnel under the fortifications to smuggle messages or supplies during the siege, or to escape in case of an attempt on his life. If you need to enter Jelling in secret, look for a small farmhouse on the left off the path to the southern gate. I hid a trapdoor under a bed inside. The other entrance is a bit shittier. You'll see what I mean. What are you working on, Josh Stone? I hope you don't find this too presumptive. But I decided to erect a runestone here in your honor. You'll speak of your deeds in Britannia, immortalizing your actions in the eternal memory of stone. How are you two holding up? We'll be fine. By far the hardest part of our captivity was having to put up with each other. See you around. The tents looks... They kinda do. But they probably look different if it was daylight. How much longer? Alright, that's all done. I should have done that one. Let's finish up the Palisades. Haifa, Elsleaf, Bureau, Nefia, and Gunner. Cave doesn't extend far into the rocks. A high ledge not far from the mouth looks like it might lead further into the cave. This must be the cave Egil mentioned. It even has the ledge he talked about. I have terrible finesse, but I have okay strength. The ledge above you is too far to reach with a jump, but it features several possible anchors for a rope. The rocks here are wet and slippery, and seaweed clings to every surface. You grab the first handhold and start making your way up carefully. Cave wall is slippery, but you manage to keep your footing and grip the rest of the way. In a cave. From this vantage point, it's clear that the cave does indeed extend further inward. You can feel a draft from somewhere nearby. You secure a rope to one of the largest stalagmites and lower the rope down to your herdmen. One by one, they join you on the landing. Pool of shallow water. The pool of water is shallow at first, but quickly deepens. Underneath the water, a tunnel extends further into the cave. The water has a slightly unpleasant color and smells stagnant. You dive into the pool. Darkness quickly engulfs your entire view. Keep going. You fumble through the darkness, arms outstretched to feel your way forward. You start growing increasingly uneasy as the tunnel seems longer than the air in your lungs will last. After a short while, the need to breathe becomes unbearable, and you start to feel needles in your chest. You instinctively breathe and your lungs take in a few mouthfuls of the stagnant water. In a desperate last lurch forward, you breach the surface of the water, gasping for air and coughing up water. And we wait for the others. After a long while, your herdmen emerge from the water one by one. Oslif coughs up a particularly large amount of water as he emerges, gasping for air after each cough. He doesn't look too good after the swim. Ugh. Once you're all gathered, you finally have time to get a good look at the room. You find several used torches around the room, which you light to better see. At the end of the opposite pool, on some raised rocks, you find some chests next to signs of extended human occupation. Some discarded bones from a hearty meal and a little bit of bedding still remains. Grab the valuables here. Just as you empty the last chest, you hear water splashing at the opposite end of the room. Several Norsemen climb out of the pool. Hey, who are you? What do you think you're doing? Drawing their swords in dramatic fashion, they take a few steps closer. This is our cave, and the treasure is ours. Don't think you can just blunder in here and take what isn't yours. Who are you? We're the ones who put that treasure here. Get your dirty hands off it. You'll have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. He smiles. I was kinda hoping you'd say that. We've got this all controlled. My girls have the high ground. Slave and Bersa control the choke points. Now you go. Now Slave is ready his action. Actually, that's better. And we wait. That didn't work. Dang it. That's 2 down. Osif is down.
I'm coming.
Good. Dang it. Crap. Ah, shit. Man. Dang it. Damn healing.
bastard got me!
Come on. Dang it. This is not looking good. Shit. Dang it.
Bastards, the lot of you!
Load game. Back in here. Alright. Everybody into position. You. Oh yeah. Attack you. Good. Good, 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 good. Very nice. Now we back up. take a little bit of damage. Get over there. Dang it, I used the move wrong. Very good. 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 We just need to keep firing at it. At that one. I need to get into position. I should have used interrupt. There we go. Take everything. Ooh, that's something new. Send someone in. We'll send Gunner. Dive to the other side. shaft downward is exposed at the edge of the cave. Bottom goes nowhere to be seen. This is where the draft is coming from. It's wide enough to fit a person at least, for about as far as you can see. Climb down. Slowly making your way down the shaft, you struggle to squeeze through it as it gets tighter. Clothes and armor on your back grates against the rock as you near the end of the shaft, and you have to force yourself through to get free. Bear and Owsley struggle to warp their bodies to get through the shaft. They both get several cuts on their hands and heads from the climb. Once free of the shaft, you drop a short distance to the ground below and realize you'll have to find another way out without a rope. Also, looks back the way you came. Should make sure we have everything before we leave. Let's climb down. And we go back onto the ship. Very good. Where do I need to go? Okay. That's 11 hours. Quests. Interesting. Okay. I will head to Perth.
Feels like I spent more of my life in this town than in the Highlands. Gotta be careful or I'll go soft.
Let's rest. Okay. If heal his infection, heal his arm. Keep working on his infection. You do 2 on Bersa. Heal. Era. Alright. Go. As the sun sets, Otis rolls a small barrel of mead into camp. Anyone up for a drink? Or 10? Gunnar grabs the mead from Edith's hand, takes a large swig and wipes his mouth with a sleeve before handing it back. Best idea I've heard all week. What say you, Bersa? Let's turn this into a feast. Let's do it. Everyone get your fill. With great cheer, everyone dips into the drink. A few extra pieces of meat are also thrown into a pot and cooked over the roaring fire. Long into the night, the mead still flows and laughter and shouts fill the air. Your herdmen go about their tasks with a content smile and a sway in their step. One by one, everyone falls into drunken slumbers, keeling over where they sit. Yay. Everyone is feeling good. Think I'll do the other 2 quest lines as well. Do the Gaelic Alliance next week. Yeah, we'll do that quest next week. For now, I'm going to be switching over to Trails into Reverie. Yeah. I'll switch over now, so don't go anywhere, friends. And I'll be back in Wait, 5 minutes. Save there. All right.